Recording in progress.
I'd like to call this special city council meeting on May 16th to order. It's been 2 weeks. I'd like to call this special city council meeting of May 16th, 2023 to order. Would you rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Ms. Councilmember Norton, would you like to lead us?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Thank you very much. So tonight, our special meeting consists of commission interviews for diversity, youth, and arts, and then we have an executive session, which we need about 20 minutes for. So we should be done here by a little after 6 if possible. So I'd like to call up Lisa Wallace if she's in the room. Hi, Lisa. And Lisa is applying to be reappointed to the Diversity Commission.
I am.
So Lisa, what we'd like to do is, if you can talk for about 5 minutes or less of
Okay.
why you'd like to be on the commission, anything you want us to know about your application, and that's the interview. And then we will ask questions if council has questions to ask.
Okay, great. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me here. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with the council tonight. And I have been on the commission now for a year, and I've never served on any commission before, so this is the first experience that I've had doing anything like this. I've served on in other capacities, doing other things, PTA, those sorts of things. But this is my first experience doing anything in the city environment, and I've learned a great deal. I've met amazing people, and I've been really privileged to experience what the commission has been working on and things that we've been able to do that have been really successful. And then putting together a work plan, which I know you've all seen, that hopefully we can move forward and start really making some dents in this with the rest of this year. I was elected to vice chair just recently, about 3 months ago, and it sort of correlated right after Kia left, or right before Kia left. And so since that time, we've been in transition, trying to keep the momentum going and stay focused. And then I am hopeful that with a new DEI person coming on board to help lead the ship, that will keep us focused and keep us in the direction that we want to go. Personally, I am getting a lot out of meeting community members, attending some different community events. We did, of course, the MLK event, and I was on the subcommittee for that. That was very enjoyable, and we got a lot of positive feedback. I attended the State of the City as just a member at a table, communicating with the public, asking questions, answering questions. And my real passion right now with the commission is to spend more time with the community, understand how we can be of help as a liaison to, advise the city council, along with collaborating with the public to do whatever we can to improve what needs improving. And so I would say that's where my real focus is. I'm a mom of 2 boys. I have a son with disabilities who's going to be 16 this year, and I'm always on the advocate role of working for what's in his best interests. And then both my sons are half black, and so they have multicultural issues, diversity issues in their life, as we all do. So anyway, that's where I will stop.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions? Councilmember Walsh.
Yeah.
You mentioned the MLK event. What do you think went well with it, and what could be improved with it?
I think what went well with it is the amount of turnout, the amount of public that attended the event. From my understanding, and I've only attended that one, I didn't even realize that we had an MLK event in the city, and I've lived here 19 years. That's obviously a great deal on my end of it, but also just somehow getting the word out to the Federal Way community and the amount of people that showed up. I think what went well are how the performers were received. It seemed to move a lot of people, and we were told afterwards that it really made a huge impact for a lot of people. The things that I think could have been improved are probably more on the logistical organizational side. It was pretty tough to keep everything going in the way that it was meant to, and dealing with school kids and having to make sure that all of the everything was going as smoothly as possible. I would have liked to have had that run a little smoother. But outside of that, having only done this once, I really go based on the feedback we received, which, to my knowledge, has all been positive.
Okay, thank you. And what is your vision for the commission?
My vision for the commission is to continue to do some events in some fashion, but also to spend more time understanding the very many diverse community members that are here in Federal Way, and especially the ones who maybe don't have access to the city or know what the city is about, what the city offers, how they can be more engaged with their community as a whole, to be a liaison for that and build those bridges.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your service.
Sure. Councilmember Dawson. Yeah, you down there.
Thank you so much for reapplying, and I could hear your passion about what you're doing, and so thank you so much. You brought up about your son
Yes.
with a disability, and I just wanted to ask if there's, and first of all, being on the Diversity Commission, I think there's something to be done, right, about it. So do you see anything that the Diversity Commission could do for people with disability? And if so, what would that look like? How could council help? Anything in that regard?
Absolutely. I am a mom, and my son's only 15 going on 16. So a lot of the services and support that I've needed, I've leaned on the school district in large part, as well as the medical community that I've dealt with. But what I see is a big lapse in being able to communicate and know what people need with disabilities once they're into adulthood and maybe don't have the support system that many kids have in youth. My goal is to have my son with me at all times, but there's plenty of people living in community homes, group homes, and I see access buses, and there's a lot of resources I feel that are needed. So from the Diversity Commission standpoint, I would think it would be a matter of helping to understand where those gaps lie, helping to direct people towards services that they might need. And the Diversity Commission is certainly not a one-stop shop, so it's just a matter of knowing ourselves what resources are available and how we can be a liaison to help people know what's even available to them. And if we're not the right people to contact, know who is.
Hi, Council President Rondell.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor, and thank you, Councilmember Safadas. I was going to ask the same question about disabilities, and I have a disabled granddaughter who's now 18, and it's very difficult when they graduate from the school system, and she wants to be just like everybody else. It's so difficult.
Yes.
She has cerebral palsy, and so it's hard for her to use her hands. And it's hard for, she wants to get a job, and in her mind, she wants to cook, but she can't use her hands. So it's just, they sit at home and they want to be part of everything. And what is it we can do to help? So we as a council, I know, would like to be part of helping these young adults, children, learn
Okay.
how to become truly members of our community and be fully engaged. And so if anything you can do to help on that, because you're going to be right there front and center. So thank you. But one suggestion I would have on the Martin Luther King Day is we are all very diverse in this community, and we welcome the diversity. It makes us stronger. Like E.M. Tony, hopefully he's going to be American Idol. That'd be pretty interesting, right, from Decatur High School.
Sure.
And I know the Polynesian community, the island community folks are very proud of him. It's wonderful having somebody nationwide talking about values for your family. But if we're going to do Martin Luther King, we're all Americans. And so what I would really like, and I've seen this before, I've seen this with our other, like the Korean community, if they're going to do a flag salute, they will do a flag salute to their flag, but they also will do a flag to the American flag. And so in the Martin Luther King Day, if you would just include the American flag or the American, God bless America,
Okay.
would be wonderful. It would really, because we're all together as Americans, and our diversity makes us stronger. So
I will
my
mention
suggestion-
that to the commission.
I heard people who commented on it, so it'd be
Okay.
a good idea. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And Councilmember Dovey, I can't see if your light's on because of the water pitcher.
My light is not on.
Okay, awesome, thank you. All right, thank you very much for the interview. And
Thank you.
we will, we may be making appointments this evening at the council meeting.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you so much.
Thank you. Is Chica here? Would you like to come to the podium, please? I didn't pronounce your last name because I can't, so if you could, once you get up here, I'd appreciate it. I don't want to mispronounce it. Jacob? So, did you hear about speaking for 5 minutes or less about why you'd like to be on the commission and anything you'd like to tell us about your application?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you guys for giving us the opportunity to be here. My name is Chika Onyejiaka.
Oh.
I recognize most of you, like Linda and Jack. I'm with you guys at Federal Way Community Network Caregiving. I'm part of the board member. And I went to, I think that was 2 years ago. We came for and my children, we came for the mayor speech. So we had they had a stand. So I was inquiring for, we took some flyers and they told me to apply if I'm interested, which I did. And what made me to really apply was, I serve a diverse population in our community and outside our community. And part of the cultural parent group in some of the schools in Federal Way School District. And I'm a parent advisory with the superintendent in Federal Way School District. So I represent most of our population, diverse population. And coming from Africa, so I know serving the vast community, what it takes, and learning languages, food, and all whatnot, and resources out there. Because sometimes we don't know what is out there until we get to know the right information and the right people to meet. So, and I have passion of serving people, regardless of our status, our population status, or where we come from. So if I'm given an opportunity, I'll be out there advocating for all population, including my diverse population. So this is my passion, and this is what I want to do, and this is why I want to be part of the commission. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Councilmember Sefdosson?
thank you so much for applying.
Thank you.
As an African, speaking to an African, what do you see lacking in our Federal Way community and that could be changed and something the Diversity Commission could do? Is there anything in Federal Way?
For now, I don't, because I know here in Federal Way, I've lived in Federal Way for quite a long time, and I go almost what they do during summertime, and they serve our population, and I've not seen anywhere that is lacking. But if I become part of this and I see, I would like to give my feedback and see what we need to do more for each diverse communities.
Actually, something I'm envisioning could be some kind of a cultural show or cultural,
Yep, we
food or
perform,
something
we
like
do
that,
that.
where we
Like, sometimes we have events, like our African events. We go places displaying our clothes, our food, our culture, and we learn from other cultures too. So, we have so many things out here, that I want to bring in, and I want to bring people in. And, telling people, yes, we have this in Federal Way. Take advantage of it, get the benefit out of it, get the resources and programs, because some of us don't know. You have to get the information to know that we have this out there. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Uh,
No, you.
So- Thank you. Thank you, Chica, for volunteering for the Community Caregivers Network, and thank you for feeding the homeless. And that's a hard thing to do.
I know.
Yeah, and sometimes it's even a little scary, but it's a wonderful thing that you've been doing that.
Thank
And so I noticed that you have an accent. So do you speak another language by any chance?
Yes.
Which one is it?
I speak about 3 languages from Nigeria.
Okay, Nigeria.
Yeah, and I used to be, interpreters in some schools, if needed, or in
Yeah.
some facilities.
That's what I was thinking, because
Yeah.
we do have in the schools, in particular, a lot of the parents from other countries who don't speak English, and they have to learn from their children, and I know it's very difficult.
Exactly.
So I
yes.
don't know if there's any kind of an outreach program we can do through the Diversity Commission. That's one thing, not to mention, I love the idea of cultural food, because I know a lot of people love to come and try food from other countries.
Yes, like, next week, the Brigadoon Elementary, they're preparing their cultural week. So I'm preparing like food and the recipes and some cultural displays that we're gonna do over there at the school.
That's
So-
wonderful. I just think it's very, if I were in Niger and speaking one language and trying to learn the other language would be very difficult for me. So congratulations to you that you were able to live through this and
Thank you,
and maintain and then still volunteer. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
thank you.
Councilmember Welch.
Yeah, I was just going to also ask, what specifically, what other languages do you speak?
I speak Igbo, Yoruba, part of Hausa, French a little bit, then English, and that's it. I'm willing to speak other languages too. Like my
Right.
kids, sometimes they teach me Spanish. Like my daughter, she did Japanese. She teach me how to greet in Japanese, and so I'm versatile. I want to learn more because I don't know where I will find myself tomorrow, and I can take advantage of that.
All right, thank you. What do you think that your role on the Diversity Commission could be to help it to expand its horizons? What can you do?
Well, it all depends on the opportunity given to me. If I like to learn more, I don't know. That's why I'm here, to know what the diversity was all about, and I go from there. Whatever I'm given opportunity to do, I will be there to do it.
Right, thank you.
Okay.
All right, any other questions? Thank you very much. Thank you very much for applying, and we may be appointing this evening at the council meeting.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you all.
Thank you. Is Ismail Mosqueda here?
He left a voicemail just earlier and is unable to attend tonight. I
Okay.
forwarded it on to you.
Alrighty, and then we have a youth commissioner, Satinder Gural. Go on up to the podium. You're a Todd Beamer? And if you could pronounce your name the correct way, because I know I didn't do that.
Oh, Satinder Grewal.
Oh, I was kind of close. So if you could talk for about 5 minutes or less about why you'd like to be on the Youth Commission and what you'd like to share with us about your application, that would be awesome.
Yeah, sure. So I want to be part of the Youth Commission because I want to be more involved with the Federal community. And I've been involved to a certain extent with like clubs at school where they do events that are in the community. Like last weekend, there was like a book sale at the King County Library I participated in. That's like one way to be part of the community. Or at like cleanups at Celebration Park, which get me involved in the community. But I want to be more active and more participant member of the community. I think the Youth Commission can put me in that position to be more involved and have me play a bigger role in which I can play, make a difference in the community, make Fairway better.
What do you do at Todd Beamer? Are you in any clubs or organizations?
Yeah, I'm part of a few clubs, National Honor Society, Key Club, DECA, and TSA, Technology Student Association.
Awesome. Thank you for being in Key Club. I'm advisor for Federal Way High School Key Club. Great organization. All right. Councilmember Dovey.
Yes, you said you want to be more involved in the community. What prompted you to decide you wanted to be more involved, and what kind of things do you actually want to do?
Well, just being part of clubs this year helped me like get more chance to be involved in the community. I realized I want like more part of it, and being involved like in terms of like fundraisers or stuff. I know the Youth Commission does some of those. I want to be part of organizing those and playing them out.
Do you know anybody on the Youth Commission?
I believe Asita Bangura is on there.
Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Seth Dawson.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for applying. Just wanted to ask you, as a youth, what do you like about Federal Way? And when you go off to college and leave Federal Way and you're an adult, what would be the reason you would either come back to Federal Way or not come back to Federal Way?
I would just say like the diversity. There's a lot of different groups of people, and Federal Way is just a really diverse place to be, and it makes you feel more welcome, makes you feel like you fit in better. Especially for me being like, I'm Indian, so I feel a little better with seeing all these different other types of races around me and ethnicities and different groups of people. And that's something I miss if I went off to college, left.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? No? Do you have any questions for us?
Yeah.
Oh, Councilmember Walsh, I'm
Well,
sorry.
what year are you in school?
I'm a sophomore, 10th grade.
Sophomore, okay. All right, great.
Well, thank you so much for applying, and we will get back to you perhaps in the next couple days. A staff member will be letting you know if we made any appointments this evening. Okay? And thank you for your interest in being on the Youth Commission.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. So we have Joey Clark for the Arts Commission. Do you go by Joey or Joseph?
Joey or Joe.
Okay.
So thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today about my ability to serve as a member of the Arts Commission. I really appreciate that the city acknowledges that citizen feedback is an essential part of good governance, and that the council considers the input from these commissions in your decisions. I myself am a recent addition to the city. My husband and I moved here at the end of 2022 with our dog, close to Adelaide Elementary School and Lakota. It's a gorgeous area of the city, and I'm eager to represent people like myself, many new Federal Way citizens who are looking for community as we transition out of COVID. I hope that on my first year serving on the commission, I could learn what the commission's past and present work has been, what's succeeded, what has been a challenge, and how it executes its mandate. Being new, I have no strong agenda, but I do have a vision for art in the city. I would hope to use my position to display art that invites people to learn more about our community and inspires young people to become engaged in the arts. The materials that I submitted with my application show you the experience that I have working on and leading other teams. I would love to use those skills in service of our city. So thank you again for your time today, and I'm happy to answer any of council's questions.
So the Arts Commission meets in the morning. Is that correct, Karen? You're still meeting in the morning?
Oh, a little later than I believe I saw.
Would that work for you if you were
Absolutely,
appointed?
that is no trouble.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. All right. Councilmember Dovey.
So you've just moved to Federal Way. How did you pick Federal Way as a place you wanted to call home?
Absolutely. So we are originally from the Denver area. My husband works for Blue Origin. We were living in Kent for a little while, but wanted somewhere closer to the water, and during tours of the area, really fell in love with how Federal Way has managed to work parks into all of these neighborhoods, particularly on the west side there. We're real close to Dash Point. So that mixed with the amazing food that we have along Pack Highway sold us on Federal Way. Yes, sir.
Council President.
Thank you. Thank you very much for applying, Joy. Could you tell us what your ideas might be for Art in Federal Way, or what you consider something we
Sure.
should be doing?
Yeah. One of the things that I love about the arts is that it includes so much. So obviously you have visual arts. My husband is actually going to be displayed in the upcoming Arts Explosion at the Performing Arts Center, so we're very excited for that. Then you have performing arts as well. I would love to see the Performing Arts Center increase its utilization. I also would love to see the commission start to work across organizations and agencies. So I know that they work directly under Parks and Rec, but to work with the school districts, to work with the library, to work with some of the other commissions, I think we could come up with some unique ideas for, again, involving youth and creating an inviting environment for everyone we have here. Yeah.
Any other questions? Nope. All
Thank
right.
you for your time.
Thank you so much. And Ron Walker. Thanks for rushing here from work. We appreciate that.
Yes, I took off a little early, so didn't have any patience, so I was able to get out. So 5 minutes of why I want to be on the Diversity Commission.
Why you want to come back to the
Why do I want to come back? Yes, I started in 2000 and served for 12 years, and so now I'm back because, as you know, I'm all about community and getting the community involved in all sorts of things. I'm mainly interested in trying to figure out a way to bring cohesion to our community. And one way that you already know that I'm on the board for the public market, and so another way of trying to bring the community together in ways that, because when people see each other as friends, as neighbors, then I believe that that has a stabilization factor on our community. And as long as people are distant and people are unknown, even in my own neighborhood, when people are unknown, then it doesn't lend itself, obviously, for community, and it gives rise to all sorts of conflict and other things. So that's one reason why I want to come back, because I have a vision, really, for how much more we can pull things together. I have a vision for what I call 101 days of summer. And I've been working on this for quite some time, starting on Memorial Day all the way through Labor Day, having events and things that will actually pull community together. I'm hearing this young man talk about wanting to have different groups working together, and that's the same sort of vision, ways that we can bring cohesion between all of us in the community. And one way, by working on the Diversity Commission, it gives another opportunity to pull people together. So that's my goal.
Awesome. Go ahead, Council President.
So, hi, Ron, thank you.
Mike,
Thank you very much for applying, Ron, really appreciate that.
Mike, no, it's on.
Thank you very much for applying, Ron.
Mm-hmm.
Sincerely appreciate that. This mic has me a little freaked out.
I could hear you.
You were on the Diversity Commission for 12 years. What do you think has changed since then?
On the Diversity Commission?
No, I mean, in this community.
In our community?
Uh-huh.
Well, obviously, the things that every community is facing, obviously, we have a rise in crime, we have a rise in, vandalism. And I think it's sad enough to say it's sort of systemic, but I don't think that you vandalize your neighbor if you know your neighbor. I don't think you vandalize your friends if you know your friends. So I think that's one aspect of our community is I think we become more disjointed. And so there's always way. We are still a very young city, and therefore that gives us opportunities that other cities don't have because things are not so entrenched in factions. And so that gives us opportunities to create things that other cities couldn't do because the factions are so entrenched in different neighborhoods and different cultures. But we don't have that. What we just have is disjointed people.
Thank you, Ron.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Councilmember Walsh.
Yeah, in the 12 years you were on the Diversity Commission, what do you think the things that you achieved during that time?
Accomplished?
And, what did you accomplish during that
Oh,
time?
my goodness.
And how is the Diversity Commission today different than what it was?
I don't know how it's
back
different
then?
today, but I know back then, one of the first things we did was the citywide book drive that we did for having kids. We collected books and gave those to the different schools of different ethnic books for kids to read. That was one of the major things. And another thing we did was on MLK Day, we had a food drive that happened throughout the city. It was always my dream to have 4 parts of the MLK, and I was kind of sad I never got to it. The first was a youth summit that we would do on Friday. Saturday was a service day. Sunday would be just like a sort of a church gathering day, and also that evening would be a gala with leadership of the city, and then on Monday would be the celebration. It was always part of what I wanted to see happen. I thought we could really blow out that whole weekend and make it something that would bring people. I did have people coming down from Seattle. There were people coming from Seattle, people coming from Kirkland, who told me they came specifically because they liked our event. And so we always have that opportunity.
Right, all right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to serve with Ron on the Diversity Commission there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? Awesome. Well, thank you very much for applying. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Tracy Myers is the current chair of the commission and is unable to be here tonight.
She just got appointed as well, right?
She was
Several months ago.
appointed just
Several
about a
months.
year ago.
Yeah.
So we interviewed her
Yeah.
a year ago.
Yeah, and from my understanding, she's done a
An
fine
excellent
job as chair.
I've had 2 staff members tell me she's doing an excellent job. So,
And the reason that we bring that up, normally people interview, we make appointments, or what's a suggestion?
I would suggest that we reappoint Tracy.
Do we want to reappoint her or wait and do all the diversity, interview her next time we meet and then do all the appointments after that?
I would remind the council that we did reappoint the chair of the Parks Commission, and he wasn't able to be here for his interview. And that was just a couple months ago.
That was a couple years ago?
Couple months ago.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Camp Smith.
Yeah.
What do you want to do about Ismail Mosqueda?
You know, if he wasn't able to be here. I think that we should just, if he wants to reapply again for another open
The
position.
next appointment.
Does anyone else have
Do you
anything
know
to
if
say?
he, Stephanie, did you have any contact with him about his interest in?
Excuse me. He originally applied September of '22, so he carried his application all the way over. He just left a voicemail saying he'd like to interview in the future, but he was unable to attend tonight, and he sent his apologies. So that's the message that we received.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we can
we also
certainly
have
keep-
more applicants than what there are vacancies on the commission as well. And so it'll take some thought on that.
Could we, there's only one alternate, could we add 2 alternates?
That's what I was gonna ask too. No
I'm ask-
attorney.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at the specifics on this one. We have basically ignored what was in the code for alternates in the past. So what's coming to council shortly is going to be an ordinance seeking to standardize all this. So if we get too far ahead of it, it might be a problem. But how many people do we have on now?
We have one
We have
alternate.
one alternate position which is filled.
Most commissions have 3 alternates.
Yeah, and like I said, we've, for the most part, added alternates as council saw fit.
So we could
regardless of
add
what it
alternates then.
says.
So tonight we could add alternates?
Yes, council can add alternates at.
So we could add somebody as an alternate on this, okay.
So I'm wondering what the chair of the Parks Committee thinks.
Yeah, I think it would be good to add alternates, and if we add alternates, perhaps we could go ahead and do appointments tonight.
Tonight?
Yeah.
So then, would you reappoint Lisa Wallace and Tracy Myers?
I will, yes.
Yeah, I think so. Mhm.
And then for the vacant position on position 7?
Ron Walker?
Was that the first?
You know, I think that both Chica and Ron are both very, very,
I would like to suggest Ron, since he has
yeah,
so much.
since he has so
experience.
much experience, yeah, I think that Ron and perhaps Chica as an alternate. And one thing, Chica and whoever else is out there, is that the alternates are able to be fully involved with the discussions and everything, and with the amendments that we're working on making to the commissions, they would be able to fill in to complete a quorum when a quorum is lacking for the commission, and be able to vote if they're completing the quorum. Is that right, Ryan?
That's what the draft says
Yeah.
currently, so that's the intent.
I'd like to
And-
say I'm very excited about this slate of people. I think they'll be really doing some great things.
So for the Youth Commission, go ahead and
Yeah.
appoint.
Yep.
Set.
Okay. All right. And so we're actually not, we're making a suggestion to appoint at the council meeting at 6:30. Then we make the motion and we vote on it. And so for the Arts Commission, we have,
Joe Clark.
Joey Clark. How many, I did not see they said they sent the packet out earlier.
It was
and I-
attached.
I didn't,
so we have
There was an
1, 2, 2 voting positions on the Arts Commission and 2 alternate positions.
okay.
So can I ask a question on Joey, which I think would be a great candidate for this term? It says here it's 12/31/23, so there's a very short term and will have to be reappointed again in 6 months, is that correct?
So position 3 and position 4 go until 12/31/2026.
Oh, 'cause my thing says 12/31/2023 on the bottom.
He's position 3.
Expiration date, yeah. But on this, it says
Oh,
26.
I'm looking at the
Yeah.
agenda.
Yeah. So Stephanie, is this correct, or is the agenda correct?
I would say the roster is correct.
Okay, so it
Yeah.
would be 2026.
Okay, thank you.
Good call. I wasn't even looking at that, I was looking at this. So you'd like to appoint move to appoint, or not move, but.
I
so
don't
just-
have a problem if it's 2026. I just thought if it was 2023, we should make note of that so the individual knows that they're going to have to reapply again, but you're telling me we don't, so I'm okay.
Awesome. Any, are we in agreement? Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So I would invite y'all to stay for the 6:30 meeting, or you could watch it on Channel 21, or YouTube, or wait for a phone call from staff. But we really want to thank you all for applying for commissions. Commissions are really important to us because they advise us, and your eyes in the community, you're doing work out in the community, and we do really appreciate what you do.
Congratulations to all of you. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's where some of us started.
Yeah, many of us started on commissions, so, thank you very much. And so we are now going to move into executive session for collective bargaining pursuant to RCW 42.30.140 4B. And after that, we will come back for the 6:30 city council meeting. Thank you very much.